Greetings and welcome to the explainer production of Manik Esahak Biswas, a prominent design, monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning lead for Bangladesh. Involved as a social worker, writer, humanitarian professional, and environmental activist, he possesses dynamic quality for writing good articles and is a standalone data-driven decision maker. So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever stopped to think about what actually happens to the absolute mountains of data organizations collect during crises? Like what we see in the Bangladesh health sector. Does it just check a donor box, or does it drive real learning?
Today, we're looking at organizational meal and DMEAL system development. We are going to break down this methodology step by step to show you exactly how progressive organizations are shifting away from just proving their results and moving toward actively improving them in real time. Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap today covers 1. What is meal? 2. Breaking down the pillars. 3. Building a meal plan. 4. Real-world accountability. And 5. Learning and adaptation.
What is MEL?
Think of a complex project like a massive road trip. M is for monitoring. It's literally just glancing down at the dashboard of your car, right? You're checking your speed, looking at your fuel gauge. In project terms, this is the continuous, systematic collection of data. It's your day-to-day observation to make absolutely sure your project activities are actually happening on the ground exactly as planned. Next is E for evaluation. So if monitoring is checking the dashboard, evaluation is zooming way out and looking at the map. It's a systematic assessment to see if you have actually reached your intended destination. It asks the big picture questions. Did our design even work? Did we achieve the overarching results we set out to achieve? It takes a much broader, deeper look at the project's ultimate performance. Then we have A for accountability. Now, this is where it gets incredibly human. Accountability is all about the passengers in your car, the community members and stakeholders. Are they comfortable? Do they feel safe? And most importantly, are you actually listening to them? Accountability is a firm commitment to respond to their needs and ensure that their direct feedback actually influences how the rest of the journey unfolds. And finally, L for learning. Honestly, this is the ultimate goal. Learning is when you take everything you discovered on this trip, the unexpected roadblocks, the scenic detours, all that crucial passenger feedback, and you use it to update your entire navigation software for the next trip. It's about embedding intentional internal reflection so you can use data to make much smarter, highly adaptive decisions moving forward. Moving right along to Section 2, breaking down the pillars. Now, what's really interesting about this is how these frameworks look in practice. When looking at crises like the Bangladesh health sector, these metrics become highly community-centered. When local communities monitor health facilities, they're looking at things like availability. Are trained staff actually there? Accessibility. Are there hidden fees or massive travel barriers? Acceptability. Is the care respectful? And quality. Are the medicines unexpired? This takes high-level concepts and translates them into concrete, life-saving data points. But you know, there is a massive shift happening right now in how organizations treat this data. For decades, traditional M&E was heavily donor-focused. It was pretty much all about proving results just to get the next funding check. But today, progressive organizations are moving toward the MELA framework, monitoring, evaluation for learning and adaptation. This isn't about proving you did well. It's about actively learning from what went wrong, improving results in real time, and building deep organizational adaptation. Section 3, building a meal plan. Let's see how this works in practice. The International Rescue Committee's Meal Handbook brilliantly illustrates the reality of doing this right. Implementing meal isn't guesswork. It is a highly logical, step-by-step methodology. You definitely don't just wing it. You follow a standardized process that takes you from initial logic all the way to final learning. So what are those essential steps? First, you create a theory of change. This defines exactly how your outcomes will be achieved. Second, you define your indicator matrix, mapping out exactly what you're going to measure. Third, you carefully select your data collection tools, making sure they capture gender, age, and diversity metrics. Fourth, you establish a solid database structure and map your data flows. And finally, step 5, you actually analyze and use that data together with your program teams to course correct. This sequence is absolutely critical, moving from a theory of change right through to indicators, measurement methods, and finally a comprehensive meal plan is an entirely sequential journey. Think about it. If your theory of change is flawed out of the gate, your indicators will be measuring the completely wrong things. The whole shebang builds continuously from high-level logic straight down to concrete daily measurement methods. Section 4, real-world accountability.
Consider the incredible work of Mercy Corps in Yemen, which is a perfect blueprint that data-driven leaders apply directly to contexts like the Bangladesh health crisis. By setting up a robust MEAL system equipped with standardized indicators and centralized data management, they could monitor interventions in real time. But the real game changer? Their feedback mechanism. By actively prioritizing and listening to the suggestions of program participants on the ground, they identified critical gaps and immediately adapted their life-saving aid to be more relevant and effective. Now that is accountability in action.
Section 5. Learning and adaptation. It all comes back to this core definition. Learning is about embedding processes for internal reflection, using data and raising questions to make smarter project decisions. A true learning-based meal system doesn't happen by accident. It requires immense curiosity, critical reflection, and an organizational culture that isn't terrified of bad news. If the data shows your intervention isn't working, an adaptive organization pivots. It uses that knowledge to innovate rather than hiding the data just to appease a donor.
So look at your own work. How will you change your next project proposal? Will you just budget for basic monitoring, or will you build the culture to truly center own learning? Thank you for watching the Explainer production of Manik Esahak Biswas. Have a blessed day ahead, and please subscribe to our channel to get more informative explainers in the future.